Welcome back, this is Jack. Hey, I wasn't actually expecting the PlayStation to already be up and all that stuff working good. Yay. Cool. Yay, past me. Past me did a smart thing. I was expecting it to show my desktop. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and load in. Oh, man. Oh. I am... Oh, okay, so there's a, update that needs to be done. Alright, well, we're gonna sit through that then. Let's let it do its update then. Let's see here. There's probably a smart way to go check for an to force it to do an update, but I don't know it. So we're just gonna go through the PlayStation Store and act like I'm trying to re-download it. I really don't like how the PlayStation Store is redesigned. Oh, there it goes. Check for update. There we go. I don't know then. Alright, hey, how's it going? Hope y'all doing well. Oh, no, I'm just, for those who are wondering, I'm not sick or anything, I'm just groggy as fuck. My sleep pattern has me, an extreme night owl right now, so, like, this is me kind of moving up. With coffee, which magically appears off camera. I'm debating if my desk is clean enough that I could turn off the video thing. Nah. Y'all get to see my pink chair, though. That's the important part. So, there's a lot of things I kind of do want to talk about in the news. All funny stuff. At least funny stuff for me. Some of it's, like, it's one of those... You're watching a comedy and you see the setup coming and you know the joke is coming. It's the best way I can describe how I feel about some of this right now. Alright, some of my research.
Your crime has not been forgotten, adversary.
My Cuba looks is ready to be killed, but, okay, so it's just the detonite injectors. What was I gonna say? I had it. It's gone now. Oh, it's like when you're watching a comedy and you see like this, you've seen the setup to the joke, you know the joke is coming, and then you're just waiting for the punchline. That's the moment I'm seeing it right now. I'll get into more of it later. Right now, let's just get into killing people, shall we? My cat has assumed his favorite spot. Makes him within arm's reach to be petted. He's going to be going to sleep, otherwise I would pick him up and let you see him. He wants to be comfy. I'm pretty sure there's a better way to set this weapon up, and I'll worry about that later. Right now, it's time to shoot. We're just going to do a warm-up, onslaught, whatchamaffuck. And then I'm going to get some, I'm going to call it work done in this game. I got some daily stuff we got to work out. My hair's looking all poofy. I think I need to change the title to the stream away from, like, and I'm playing Warframe, because, yeah, like, yeah, I've been playing Warframe, but in case I decide I want to switch it up, I don't have to go in there and change it. I don't have mods to do it for me. I do have an idea of how I want to change the build. This Warframe has really good ability to get its own energy back pretty easily. There's like no durability, like no built-in durability. All this frame's durability is built in, like the way I have it designed is adaptation being a big part of it. I'm guessing somebody else in between rounds. I'm guessing somebody. No, okay, I'm getting annoyed at these. I've been on the other side of it because I've got one player who's just able to kill anybody just by throwing a single ability. There's like an enemy who has like extreme reach and zone. So it's like they would stomp through their stomp ability. And they were just clear to win. I don't know how they kept doing it though, because if you had gotten that high, I don't know how to So the reason why I gotta go beyond the fact that it's just part of the part of this map that I have to do it, which is rewarded for killing as fast as possible. If you get to the third ability in this countdown, every time I kill somebody, it goes back up. That's the trick about it. That's the ability that is gain energy, allowing me to keep casting abilities. I'm gonna stay on the big side. I don't need to small.
With each data conduit jump, the experiment's design dictates increased efficiency. I trust you will be able to complete this study, Hunter.
Somebody, so it will stay on longer. So not only am I rewarded for the type of fight we're doing rapidly, but it keeps having power. And not to mention that has like a 1 minute cooldown between uses. So if I let it drop, I'm gonna have to go a full minute without my and it doesn't matter if I kill them with like the electrical orb either. I can just walk up and with the electrical orb's advantage is the fact that one, it's a massive area, so it is somebody. And I'm more likely to trade against people who are being electrified. And it caps out at the minute though, it's like the one down. Or the, like, I can't get it right. What is that? Imagine all the survival to get into the that's about how much loss I can get if I can go out with it. And unfortunately, I threw it after everybody was already dead. Time's left. So even if I stop killing now, I'll still run out of 35 seconds. Because I don't know how much further I'm going to go into this, because this was just meant for me to warm up my button pushing buttons. My button pushing fingers. So some of the things that are in the news, and I'll probably bring this up multiple times. So this is going to go, like, I have no Twitter set that what I'm going to talk about. I don't have Twitter planned out or anything. Just stuff that's in my head I want to talk about. So Andrew Tate got his day in court to see if he'd get bail, and he got laughed out of court. And this con man, like,
I have already used data conduit. Proceed immediately.
He goes in there, goes into the court pretending that he converted to Muslim. Which, okay, whatever, I don't care. And that he also said that the Andrew Tate that everybody knew was actually an act. No, I'm not letting you pull that one. That's the, Alex Jones. Tucker Carlson also thinks that like the argument is no sane and reasonable person would believe that the person that you see on the camera is a real person. That's the argument they like to make. there's just no point. Because, like, it feels like it's really just peace. And it's worked before for, like, Fox News. They'll say shit like that to get out of all the lawsuits. Not to mention, the Supreme Court has ruled that news organizations are under no requirement to tell you anything. I'm not even joking. Hell, politicians as a whole, during the campaign act, are not legally required to tell you the truth. They're allowed to lie about whatever. That's why, like, for instance, George Santos, I've talked about him before, the Republican who we found out that literally every detail about him is a made-up story. Like, short of his name. Like, we were not even sure his name Claimed he was Jewish, nope. Claimed he was gay, nope. Claimed he had all these businesses. Well, he may have had the businesses, but it turned out it may be a money laundering scheme for his campaign. That he worked at this company, that he worked at that company. Just a laundry list of different lies. And they're coming back to haunt him. And there's a funny part about that I'll get to in a minute. If I remember. Only to advertise. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna know. Plus, I think my ear will hit look better.
Hurry, Hunter! The conduit is closing fast.
After the conduit.
The sanctuary will go on without you.
That was pretty loud. I didn't realize like how loud my PlayStation was. I wonder if how much of what I've been saying y'all been able to hear. All right, let's see. All right, yeah, he's just letting me know he's gonna get home early and make sure the bathroom's clear.
Only one Porteno. Don't get greedy.
Oh yeah, it is a new day. Alright, cool. Means I actually get to do something else real fast. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and tell the George Santos thing real fast. So, he was working with, like, the congressional Republicans to help him get in office, which makes sense. Like, hey, they want to take over the Senate, and they see this guy, he's running against a Democrat, they're going to give him money. He paid one of his staffers to pretend to be, I forget his name, but he's now the Speaker of the House. He pretended to be one of his staffers so that he could get more money. And, or he could con, like, the big donors into giving more money. I don't need to talk to you. That's not what I needed to talk to you.
What? Somewhere, there's a version of me who stayed behind on Lua. And I hate her.
That was an interesting statement. I love her body language, by the way. Like, that was just a nice quirk of animation. It's far more than I need. Oh, it's exactly what I need. Cool. We'll go ahead and do that.
Yes. Goodbye for now.
Alright, we're going to get to see, actually, I think it's the last video of me ranking up with them.
Is one bet. We should be doing more to recognize.
That's going to cost me all my entry Lanthorn, which and my Void Bloom Finions. I need those. I was making something. Oh well, I'm okay with not having it. Angel.
No
right,
point in saving
oh,
this
I
stuff
gotta
for
choose
Cal.
something. All right, so it's going to definitely be one of the Archons. While Overshield is active, critical chance. I want this. Alright, we get to see the final video. I've been kind of curious about this.
Quinn is dead. Whatever guilt he bore should have died with him. So why does it still burn?
Because we're not finished here. None of us.
If we're talking redemption, seems to me the dying's the easy part.
So this is our fate. Living out every day in a pantomime of contrition?
Yeah. These guys are effectively in a
What?
limbo hell.
Like you got something better to do? Quinn, wake up. Look at us. We're back to how we were. This ain't just a second chance. It's an eternity of second chances.
Perhaps. Yes. Blame lingers, but so does duty. And who is to say that is not why we were recreated?
Yeah, they're effectively in a version of
Difference
hell
has
where they have to
awoken,
live through everything they
and
went
all
through
of the Void's
over and over
creations
again.
must find a light. Even ones we thought lost in another time. Let eternity be our horizon. Until then, we shall hold fast.
Ah, he said the name of the organization. So the reason why that's a big deal, hang on, let me talk about that. So what's going on with this? These guys are actually dead. Orcan technology is built around alternate realities and stuff like that, where they take Schrodinger's cat, but they get to choose the outcome when they want. So Schrodinger's cat is, you do something to the box, usually like a poison or an acid, but you don't know if it's gone off yet, and you don't know if the cat's dead inside. I hate the idea of hurting a cat, but that's how it works.
All the hands we can get.
The cat is in a light, both alive and dead at the same time, until you open the box and collapse the possibilities. The cat is both alive and dead. That's quantum mechanics, effectively described. That things are both active and not active at the same time, and things did and did not happen. The Orcan society basically built their a lot of their technologies on that paradox of things happening and not happening, and using alternate realities to cause things. These guys are in a state, because they're somewhat in the void, which is the place between these realities. They died. They remember their death, but they're not dead. They're brought back. That's why he said infinite second chances. Each one of them committed a sin that attributed to the creation of the Tenno. I'll go to each one and explain it real fast because it's real quick.
Everyone pulling together.
He actually tried to save all the kids, but he was the leader of the whole thing. So he takes the brunt of the responsibility because he was the leader, and he failed everybody. He was basically the security officer and had to kill all the parents when they went batshit crazy and failed to protect the kids. He died in the process.
It's worth it.
She was the engineer and the planner for everything that happened, so she takes the blame from that.
I'll see you later.
And then Humbask, to me, actually has the worst one.
Damn well.
She wanted to go back to Lua,
Here's to us.
and she did this. She tried to do this by poisoning the crops so that people were starving. So when they hit the void wave that drove all the parents insane, the kids were fine. Everybody had already been on edge because they were fucking hungry. So that's that lore. Hiccups. Oh, there we go. I may have gotten it. Oh, I have enough energy for one more thing. I could do that for like the duration. That'd be nice. Not to mention it's another auger, so I might do that. But I want to see if I have any other options. Like I had so ultimately my other build I'm going to be doing is going to be using this. The idea that I'm going to decrease the efficiency so I can't spam cast it as much. However, each time I throw out the orb, it's going to be infinitely more powerful. So that's the idea behind that. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. If I want to counteract it, I could throw fleeting expertise on it. By throwing fleeting expertise, I'll get the duration back, the efficiency back up, but the duration would go down. And that's also okay. That's also an option. We'll worry about that in a minute. Right now, I am looking at what my other options are. Sorry about that. My sinuses are a little fucked up right now. Power drift. Ability strength, chance to resist knockdown. That's actually very tempting, just because the knockdown resistance. Alright. Shield disruption. Stand united. Steel fiber. Streamline. Streamline would be another efficiency increasing. And it's much less impactful. Vitality. All right, so we're gonna go with the the increase in range all the way over here. I am gonna level her up at some point, but I'm not gonna do that on stream.
Operator, did you hear that? It said.
So now she's got a decent amount of duration, but it's the strength and range for this build. So we're gonna go. And I'm gonna go ahead and make the second build real fast. The brief respite is definitely required. Although I might switch. Yeah, no, it has to stay. I was sitting here thinking, no, it's gotta. All right. Blind Rage is going on. That was one of the big ones. I have to have adaptation on. Otherwise, I just won't stay alive. Alright, so right now, strength is way the fuck up. And because of that, I also want to throw Augur Secrets on. Because once again, I'm trying to increase the raw power. And then there's one more raw power increase I need to throw on. Intensify. Alright, so right there, I'm doing 244%. Now I want to bring the I'm going to throw Prime Continuity on. That makes the duration back up, which is good. Now we're going to throw Streamline on to try and fix a little bit of that. Yeah, it's bringing the efficiency back up, so I can cast it a bit better. We're going to throw Stretch on. I actually may not need to form this. Unless I wanted to throw Transient Fortitude on, I wouldn't need to. I could throw Umbral Intensify, which is a slightly Mobeta Intensify, but I don't want to. This actually would be a bad idea, just because of that 5% chance to enhance critical. It would make my shields also recharge faster, which this character is all about my shields suddenly being high or just being kicked back up. Let's see here. But you also don't want your shields increased, and there's a reason for that. When your shields, after your shields hit full and then they crack, you actually have a bit of a time of invulnerability. I could throw that on. That would give me more health and ability duration, which is actually very interesting. Hunter's Adrenaline would be useful because every time my shield breaks and I do take damage, it would give me my energy, some energy, so I could quickly throw down an orb. Fast Selection would also give me my shield recharge rate. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to throw that on. Alright, and then we got to do the Archons. There was that new Archon I just picked up. I think it was at a 3 or a 4. It should be now at a 4, because it was at a 3, and then I picked up a new one. What's the... Oh, yeah, it's one I don't care about. What's this one? Oh, yeah, it's for sniper rifles. Yeah, it's just reload speed. If it was like it would further increase critical for a little bit, then that would be good. Where is it? I know I just picked it up. Oh, wait a minute. It might be an operator thing, which makes it useful. It be. How about you, Pepe? That's actually really tempting. Oh, it's on 6 melee kills. Never mind. That's interesting. That's actually very interesting. Not for this character, but for a different character. This'll work. 21% chance for an increase in critical, and this character is all about critical. That'll be useful. I gotta power it up though before it's actually useful. Actually, I might be able to power it up now, but I want to get my... Well, I do hope your day does go good. Just in general, because oh, that'll be helpful. Well, that's specifically for headshots, which I don't spend a lot of time trying to get. I hope your day does at least go mid. I would prefer it turn into a great day. Oh, this is one of the ones I wanted. Multi-deficiency. Because it increases the duration. I don't care about that. Actually, can I improve this one? No, I can't. I need another one. Oh, yeah, I want that on. There we go. That's probably exactly what I have on the other side, too. Let's find out. No, yeah, it's the exact same thing, just in reverse. All right, we're going to test out this build.
Excellent armaments, operator.
Oh, I do hope your day continues to improve. Oh, by the way, I have decided to do Restream, which is where my stuff will also be going to Twitch. Hell, I might also do Facebook, because I can do that. I've decided I'm going to do it. I was supposed to set it up Monday, and then I was supposed to set it up last night, but I keep putting it up. D&D definitely can be a dark fantasy. However, Wizards of the Coast have taken actions to make it not a dark fantasy. They're taking away a lot of, like, there is no evil races and stuff, and I can definitely get that. You know, I can definitely get that philosophy. I disagree with it. Where is assholes? I need to find assholes. Yeah, that damage is legitimate. I think it can definitely be a dark fantasy. I have ran a Bloodborne inspired world, and it also had a bit of Berserk tucked into it too. So can it be a dark fantasy? Yes, it definitely can. But they've, especially lately, Wizards of the Coast have gone out of their way to try and make it not, and I don't like that. But I get it. I know why they're doing it. But I do disagree with it. Like they said, there's no evil races now. And I can philosophically argue it. Argue either side of it. Take your pick. So, for instance, let's go with Mind Flayers. People would automatically go, Mind Flayers are a prime example of an evil race. They eat the brains of sentient beings. Like, they eat humans. They eat drow. They eat anybody. They eat their brains and enslave them. My argument to this is they're not evil. They're higher on the food chain. Humans and elves and all that stuff do not like being lower on the food chain. They're used to other beings being under them in the food chain. So because of that, because we're the prey, we view them as evil. Yeah, this build is definitely legitimate. It's actually able to sustain itself, which is my biggest concern. I could probably actually take the streamline off. See if I can find more raw damage to toss on it.
The experiment's design dictates increased efficiency. I trust you will be able to complete this study, Hunter?
No, I didn't even cast the efficiency thing. I should have tossed that on. Now I gotta go kill things before it runs out. Because I really don't want it to restart that timer. So that's my argument. Now, alternatively, you could argue drow as an evil race, because, and it would make sense. They are a sentient race and can make their own decisions. They don't need to do the things they do. The counter argument I would throw is they live in an extremely inhospitable world where they don't have a choice but to behave the way they do. They have a god, that literal god, who dictates they behave the way they do and doesn't give them really much choice. Lilith has straight up wiped out civilizations of the drow because they spoke out against her. So for you to say that the drow are evil, they really don't have a choice. Their community has been built up after generations to behave that way. Now you might point out like Dritz Dorden, who broke that tradition and was able to go be a good guy. Now, frankly, I find that to be a writer trying to have like that emo character. It's like if you're like making a Sephiroth expanded universe story where Sephiroth becomes a good guy. That's all that is to me. It's where the writer wanted to make an edgy type character become a good guy. But ignoring my feelings towards that, he's not an exception who proves he's an exception who proves the rule that yes, given the right circumstances, one of them can be a force of good. So by that definition, they are inherently not an evil race. They do have the free will to choose, and when given the right circumstances, they can make the right choices. Him and his dad were both rather good dark elves to some degree. Yeah, his dad liked to murder, but his choice was to murder matrons who were the ones who were enslaving the race. That was his thing. And he trained his son to be very similar, to have a sort of code in the way he behaved. He actually taught him to be good without teaching him to be good. So, but I do find the beauty in dark fantasy is not the inherent evil in things. It is the choices that are made that turns people evil. We'll go with Berserk as a good example. You don't become an apostle because you were born an apostle. You become an apostle because you chose to. You gave in because of what you would call a need to do something, and you sacrificed something to become an apostle. By extension, become a god hand, but the sacrifice is much greater. Griffith did that. He sacrificed the Band of the Hawks to become this god hand. The Duke gave up his wife originally, and then when he went to become a second apostle, like be resurrected into a more powerful apostle, they demanded his daughter. Now he refused to do it, which proves that even when you become an apostle, you haven't given up your ability to be good. And I forget his name, but he's the one who always wants to fight the Skull Knight and Guts, because all he wants is a good fight. He has done good things. He's actually sided with Guts a couple times. So, being a good guy isn't even among. So to me, that's why I find for dark fantasies, it's not that the world is evil, that people are evil. I find it better to have people have chosen to be evil to make the story. So by that extension, it does make D&D very, 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 very capable of being a dark fantasy. You just got to add in the right elements. You might have to tweak some of the races. And especially if you start adding in like a vampire conspiracy, eldritch beings, stuff like that. No, I don't think this build would be good enough for Steel Path. It has no way to strip armor unless I get a weapon that lets me do it. And I just don't have the durability to survive Steel Path. By the way, in case you're wondering, Steel Path is hard mode effectively. Everybody starts with an extra 100 levels and double armor, health, everything. Yeah, I can't get rid of Streamline because even now I'm hitting the bottom of the barrel. Mind you, I haven't been picking up a lot of energy orbs. That's part of the problem. Anyway, once the new conduit appears, I'm not leaving.
Enter the conduit now.
Hell, I would even say Bleach has a touch of dark fantasy it could pull off if it really wanted to. I don't like Bleach because of it has, like, I've been watching it to be honest, but I don't like it because it's the Chosen One fantasy taken to the extreme. But consider what a hollow actually is. It is a soul who effectively became corrupted one way or another, and then turned into this monster who seeks out to devour, to fill a hole in itself, literally. It's driven to do this, and by no volition of its own. Some of the souls are turned into hollows because other hollows ate them. So it's not their fault in the slightest. Once again, it has the potential for it, especially if you lean into like the religion in the magic users and what that means. But you're right, I would not call it a dark fantasy. It has probably like an element or two like tucked into it, but overall it is not a dark fantasy. Why is my stream looking wonky? Let me see if my monitor is okay. It's just my yeah, it's just my monitor who's acting weird. I keep a copy of my stream going, on my phone, so I can see what's going on, see how y'all see it. Anyway, yeah, but no, I would agree. It is not a dark fantasy. In fact, I would argue we haven't really had a good dark fantasy game in a good minute. Now, mind you, so I'm going to point this out. I would argue Elden Rings is a dark fantasy, because dark fantasy does not mean that it always looks doom and gloom. Like, everybody thinks dark fantasy means it has to be like a Dark Soul, look like Dark Soul. It has to look like Bloodborne. But no, it can actually also look like Sekiro and Elden Ring. Because you can have the trappings of beauty hiding the true darkness that's there. So, I'm going to do Sekiro. Sekiro is easier to explain. Sekiro has this veneer of sakura petals everywhere, for the best description I can give it.
That's good.
And sakura petals are beautiful because, one, they're pink, bright pink, which is can be fucking gorgeous, but also because they don't live long. They fall to the ground and die. They're gone. So it has like this odd beauty of a temporary state where beauty is extremely temporary. So I definitely get. So that's what makes it such an important thing. I should have gotten that. I'll worry about that some other time. Oh, okay, so it was my secondary that would have gotten it. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. Because I do have some good crit secondaries that I can use. You are correct. However, I find the best dark fantasy for myself. This is my personal opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt. My favorite version of dark fantasy is when no, I disagree with that. The way I see it, dark fantasy is the umbrella term. Like, the best way to describe it, an ocean is a body of water, but not every body of water is an ocean. Dark fantasy is the overall term for all of them, and not every dark fantasy is a grim dark, but every grim dark is a dark fantasy. Dark fantasy is just the umbrella term. That's how I see it. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not some super smart person about this stuff. I fully admit that. Let me see if I can find a good crit weapon. Although I've been seeing recommendations that says fast shooting weapons are best, even if they don't have a high crit. So I'll go ahead and go with these, because those, one, I like tenet weapons, but two, oh, okay, I need the arcane adapter for it. Okay, I don't know where the fuck to get it. But I still see Sekiro as a dark fantasy, and Elden Rings too. Elden Rings is a little harder to explain, but Sekiro is very much a dark fantasy that hides itself, and it does it very well. All right, loving this character. This character is very good.
Orders has been counting stars.
Gonna switch out to
Operator.
this character.
All accounted for.
All right. Oh yeah, my new character. My new favorite character to play as. because he's got an evil trick about him. There he is. I'm liking this character. I need to make loadouts. Hang on. I'm going to make a loadout. Because I actually need to start doing that. Make loadouts for like my different ways of playing. And where is she? There she is. If you do the alphabet, you'll know where she is. Alright. Because I got so many of these loadouts. I never bothered to make them. Oh yeah, I can't use my keyboard. Dragon Age is not a dark fantasy. Once again, you could make some stories using the nature of the churches and the wizards to create the dark fantasy world, but BioWare intentionally kept it very bright and glorious. Now, on the same token, you could very easily make a Mass Effect the same way. BioWare seems to like keeping their dark fantasy elements tucked in there. So, oh, what do I think is the franchise? I like the franchise. I'm waiting. I've actually never finished any of the Dragon Ages. I always get caught up in making a new character. Always wanting to see things slightly different or play things slightly different. I'll get to a segment where I'm like, oh, I want to do this. So yeah, that's my sin with that. I've never actually finished any of them. I want to use a bow for this character, and there's no real reason for it. The best bow would be this right now, the Nataruk. It has infinite arrows and it causes a small explosion when you fire it. The Paris Prime, though, I feel fits this character so much more. And yes, I am a person about aesthetics. Aesthetics.
Covered in blood. Safe and sound.
I think the best thing to go with this would be to take that off if it'll let me and put Galvanized Chamber. It will. Okay. I actually need to power up Galvanized Chamber. Take that off. No, I agree. It all comes down to, like, if you wanted to rewrite it, and we might find out, it might turn more into a dark fantasy with Mass Effect 4, because culture as a whole has developed a bit of a taste for it. They definitely, society as a whole has developed a bit of a taste for dark fantasy as a whole. Like, when those games were coming out, like, yeah, they existed. You had the Berserk and all that stuff. But generally speaking, people didn't want... Okay, I'd have to take that off then. That's actually fine. Fire rate's a little slower, but it also has a lot of fire rate tossed on it. Yeah, people didn't have a taste for it. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. They didn't have a taste for it as much, so people were less inclined to really dive into it. But nowadays, I think I'm just going to throw on a status effect one for no fucking reason. Wait, is Vigilant Arms on there? Okay. I could throw Vigilant Fever to counter the critical delay, and it gets me a higher version of that bonus. Yeah, but people just generally didn't have a taste for it back in the day. No, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. People have generally not enjoyed it, but I have. I love the darker elements. Now, mind you, I can only take it in doses. Like, I want to watch Goblin Slayer. I think that's my next big new anime I'm going to be watching after I finish watching Blood War for Bleach. But a reason I'm putting it off is because I was watching Chainsaw Man as it was being released. And Chainsaw Man has so much just depressing darkness thrown into it. Yeah, that pisses me off. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has done that more than once. Here's this cute puppy. Here's this cute rabbit. I'm going to throw it in a blender. Like, that shit gets me. Like, that pisses me off as a writer. Like, you guys can do better than that. Don't fucking do that shit. Right now I'm going to go dual blades with this character. Because I definitely feel like for his like Spartan aesthetic, I want to go dual blades. I can easily just go this dagger right here and treat it like a short sword. That's actually what I'm going to do. Screw it. I'm going to do that. No, you're right. You're right. I like the abridged version. You're not that person. To me, you're not that person. I agree. I 100% agree. There's a specific mod I'm trying to put on, and I can't find it. Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong section. I'm looking for Shattering Impact, I think it's called. Because every time I do impact damage, I strip a bit of armor, and this weapon attacks stupid fast. This whole build is built around me just stripping armor. I already have Shocking Touch. Now I should just have to throw something corrosive on. Fuck. I have 2 Virulent Scourges. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to take Shocking Touch off. I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. Volcanic Strike. Virulent Scourge. There we go. Now it's got Corrosive. So this weapon's built around stripping. This weapon will strip armor fast. The Ledium will strip armor. It can hit hard as hell, and so can the Paris Prime. So depending on what range I'm at, and then the character himself can by default strip armor. Yeah, I don't think I need to tweak anything here. I do need to put stuff in the arcane slots though. Let's give him some Arcane Blessing. Yeah, actually, how do you feel about we'll say Skyrim and Fallout 4, where there is no bad guy per se, just alternate perspectives? How do you feel about that? Because I do like that the world exists in forms of gray. That both sides are trying to do what they feel is right, but they may be doing it wrong. I do like that argument. It does give me a good feel about it. It feels like a true depth, because there is no pure evil. There is no pure good. And that's a really depressing way to look at life. But I feel that willing to accept that the world is not one or the other, I feel is a real mark of, I'm going to say, being an adult. Because growing up, you see the world idealistic, and when that idealistic shatters about the time of puberty, a lot of people go into that dark, depressive, nothing matters. They go very nihilistic. But then as you get older, you start seeing that, yeah, not everything's perfect, but not everything's horrible. I agree. I can go with that. Skyrim did it better, that neither side that was fighting for the Empire is good. Neither side is good. But neither side is bad either. You had Ulfric, who wanted to allow people to have their religion, but he was also a horrible racist. And then you had the Empire, who was willing to compromise and ban people from their religion, but was also making deals with the Thalmir, who were making people disappear. So yeah. And their good side is that they probably would have promoted better peace and unity throughout all of the countries. Alright, I'm going to go do a Zarman run, and then I might find something else to do. I'm proud of myself that I actually remember those names off the top of my head. I haven't played Skyrim in years. Actually, I might look that up. When was the last time I played Skyrim? Last time I played Skyrim. Oh, by the way, I just picked up Scum. I'm going to be probably playing it this weekend. I might be playing that or Back for Blood with a few other people, depending on who I have available. Anyway, Skyrim. Oh, it's Elder Scroll. Is it Elder Scrolls Skyrim, or is it just Sky? Here it is. All right, my special edition was the last one I played. Yeah, back in 2019 was the last time I played it, and I'm pretty sure I just booted into it and then booted back out. So the last time I really played was in 2015, and I played the fuck out of that when it first dropped. I am here to actually do missions now, so I'm gonna go talk to Quinn.
Void cascades on multiple decks. We've got our work cut out for us.
All right, what missions we got available? Kill enemies as operator. That's easy. Oh, this one's easy too. It's an exterminate too. Okay, that'll be good for me getting materials. Hopefully, people are wanting to kill the angel because killing the angel gets me one of the materials I need. Child of Kos. Oh, I love that name. I love that name. Child of Kos. That is a Bloodborne reference. I fucking love that. I want to put a cape on this character. I feel if he's going to try and look Spartan-y, he needs a fucking cape. Oh, and I will be changing out his primary weapon when I can build it. It's like a spear gun, but I won't be able to make it until next week.
It was Archimedean Yonder who said.
The reason why I love this build, beyond the fact that I can strip armor, is his yeah. That's a very good. That's actually a stupidly good way of summing it up, Pepe. Like, I think you explained it better than anything. That the Minutemen, who are the good guys, like probably the most goodest of the guys, and they have that whole underdog story. You are right, but then they go and every mission you do with them is how they just did stupid. Like, they chose the wrong person for leadership. They did this. They did that. Oh, I agree. I do kind of get the Institute side of it, except for like the making sense. Like, I don't agree with that side of the equation and the way they've handled the synths. However, I do kind of get them trying to preserve lost technology. I do get that, because whereas you have the goddamn Brotherhood of Steel, like, we're going to take the technology, but only those we deem worthy are allowed to have it. I don't like that. Mind you, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Brotherhood, or not the Brotherhood, but the Institute wasn't much better about that. I didn't kill it. And the Underground Railroad, like, I see what they were trying to go with it. Yeah, I remember that. It's actually like the base that they were running from at one point. It's actually a good place to get power armor. The Raider power armor, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I would argue that the Minutemen also created a lot of Raiders in their own vein. What they did, what I would imagine is, and if I was one of those kind of people, you had people who joined the Minutemen for the training, and then they dipped out. Training possibly / gear, and then dipped out to create their own Raider group, or join the Raiders. I can definitely imagine that being a thing. Not too dissimilar from how the Taliban was created. They received, well, not created, but how they became so powerful is they received training from the U.S. military. What was he doing? From the U.S. military, and then would take the gear and the training we gave them to become just so much more dangerous. Oh, he's already dead. Because, like, although I do believe in, like, that it is possible for people to be redeemed and good to prevail, I am also realistic in that not everybody has good intentions. In fact, actually, I was reading a good book. It was talking about sociopaths in society. Now, being a sociopath does not make you evil. In fact, actually, there's plenty of stories of people who are clinically diagnosed as a sociopath, as in they cannot feel emotions, or do not feel emotions the same way we do, because I'll get into that in a second. They do not feel emotions the way we do. That one of them is a doctor, for instance. And he doesn't care about his patients. He doesn't. He has no emotion towards his patients. However, he also doesn't get anxiety or fear when because he's a surgeon, cutting into people. And then there's another one that I was reading an article about. He is a guy who cracks bombs or stops bombs. And he said, "Do you really want somebody who's like defusing a bomb to be afraid?" In the article. Now, he also did say it's not that he doesn't feel fear. Like, he is capable of feeling fear. The specific example he gave is he went to see the movie Saw when it first came out with his girlfriend, and he felt nothing for it. Like, I was like, all right, cool. But then shortly thereafter, when they stepped out, they tried to get mugged. And then, and yeah, he was able to disable the, because he was military, he was able to disable the attacker and everything. But he still felt fear, but it wasn't really for himself, it was for his girlfriend. So the way I interpret that is he doesn't feel fear for himself. He has no attachment to his own existence. However, for somebody he has chosen that he does care about, he does feel fear. He feels intense fear.
They wanted to do things the hard way, and now they're done. Grenier are pulling out. Great job.
Let's see if I can get them to want to do Angel. So, anyway, so the reason I was talking about sociopaths. They exist in society. They will always exist within society. It's just a nature of humanity that we will find, it's a quirk of nature that we will find people who are sociopaths, who are just genetically born with that problem, or created because of the evils that are already in society. But because they feel no attachment, no emotions, you are going to get your people who are willing to abuse society, who are willing to create, do what they want to create what they want. Prime example. Okay, I can agree with that. That feels right. The whole neocon and possibly neo-democrat philosophy. That's actually a very good way of putting it. But because they exist within society, and they always will, you will always have those people who are willing to take advantage of the system. Probably a good example. That could work. That could definitely work, and it might make them a bit better, but they're still horrible. Found the angel.
That was a dormant void angel. Now, it's not dormant anymore.
Once again, I'm sorry I have to keep clearing my nose. It makes it harder to breathe if I don't.
Trying to retreat into the void so it can heal. Follow it and stop it.
They can show lighter moments. Berserk, once again, I will always go back to Berserk to explain. Oh, damn, they tanked it. To explain dark fantasy, because it's the easiest way for me to go about it.
Yes, it won't be shrugging that off.
I'm just gonna let them. I would agree with that. The Steel Brotherhood kind of represented another form of slavery.
Dimensional orbs around. Use your void body to absorb.
The problem with the Institute is they didn't feel that their robots were sentient, so they didn't care about their freedoms. That's their big problem. Soon as his health. Ooh, Cascadia Flare. Nice. And I got the pinion I wanted. I never sided, like, once again, I actually never finished Fallout. The furthest I ever got into the game was just after the Brotherhood of Steel appeared. Because all my playthroughs, I always spend so much time just leveling up and getting shit. Well, I disagree. Once again, go back to Berserk. Almost any time, there are a lot of like bright moments in Berserk as a whole. Now you could argue those are times when it's not grim dark, but whatever. Oh, that's not one of the colored ones. Okay, never mind. All right, I don't feel like doing another run of that, but I should. Because you can 100% have those brighter moments. Nothing stops it.
Away from heading. Remind them who the Zeraman belongs to.
I can agree. I can see that. I actually argue the Minutemen are probably the best option, but I feel that they're very irresponsible as an organization. Why did it kick us out of the bounty?
Please remember that your presence is enough
to because not everybody's loaded.
Excellent.
I feel it's a very irresponsible organization. Like, if you look at its track record, everything about it, it had probably one of the most defendable forts in the whole thing, lost it a long time ago. Mind you, it was because of a Merquing fight, but they should have been ready for that. They were next to an ocean. They had a city they were defending. They didn't screen their people well enough.
Light of yours over here for a second.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to cancel it. I don't need to do that mission anymore. Oh, that's a good stretch. That was a really good stretch. You know, I'm gonna go try a steel path fight. I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Like, as good as I am at this game, and as you just casually see me walking through, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. You have to do all the worlds again, and I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Like, not even subtly. Turn on my rally immediately. You saw this weapon just destroying them. There we go. I have to strip their armor before they do any good. If I don't strip their armor, I can't hurt them. Their armor is just fucking insane. The best thing with the Minutemen, they are the Preston Quest done forever. Yeah. And frankly, like, the reason why a lot of people don't like the Minutemen is pure for some people. Not everybody, but for some people, it's because of the another settlement needs your help just constantly going off. Like, if there was a way to, like, do it in such a way that to actually prevent from having to do it over and over again, it might be worth it. Someone surprisingly joined me. I'm not objecting to that. Yeah, this build is actually doing really damn well. I could probably also start meleeing some people. Yeah, this is working. I'm enjoying this. Wow, people are joining me? I don't know why. Someone must have physique on because I have suddenly more health. But yeah, Preston Garvey is a prime example. Like, he drops the ball so much. And then he just gets really fucking annoying that he'll randomly show up and say, hey, there's another settlement who needs your help. Hey, there's another settlement who needs your help. Hey, there's another settlement who needs your help. Rinse, repeat. It never stops. I'm pretty sure there's a mod to make him shut the fuck up about it. And make it so that settlements can never be attacked after you've done, like, you've installed something, like a super good defense or something. Like, I'm pretty sure there is. Because the only other annoyance I really had with the game, other than some plot points, is the search for adhesive. Until you get the farm going just right, it's just so fucking annoying. And I feel also that the settlement mechanic, I would put it similar to the Dark Knight, or sorry, Arkham Knight Batmobile. They introduced it and then forced you to use it. Because, like, initially, early in the game, there's no fucking point. There is a point if you want a regular adhesives to keep upgrading your shit. But, with that said, it doesn't really provide you anything. Like, it doesn't give you anything too particularly worth it. In my opinion. I know I keep spamming that ability, but I need to strip their armor. Well, that's pretty much it. It just goes back to Preston Garvey is an irresponsible leader. Pretty much all the previous leaders, I feel, except for the one who... no, all of them were irresponsible. They didn't have the resolve to... I'm going to say, like, this is going to sound horrible, but to go full Brotherhood of Steel. Go full military mindset about everything. They needed to be selective in who they allow to work with them. Did I drop my bow? Did they take my bow? No, they didn't. Somebody else lost their weapon. Alright, we can dip now. Oh, somebody else is one of my class. The fact that I'm about to kill a Nox in Steel Path is so fucking awesome. Go ahead and add your points. I saw the flip for the Institute. I saw that coming. I knew it was coming, so that wasn't a spoiler to me. Because as soon as he went back in stasis, I knew it was going to happen. I'm going to have to, like, for my Coffee Over Gaming channel, because I'm always having a hard time finding content, I might have to start doing that. I might have to start making content. Oh, Malice is coming. Fuck that. We're fighting him. He drops good loot. Oh, he knocked me the fuck down. I can still fight. You may have knocked me down, but I can still fight. Where is he? You think just because you're running I can't attack you? Eat all 1,000 of my spears. What did I get? Unidentified item. I love it. And Steel Essence. That's pretty good. Radiant quests become main story quest in modern gaming, and I hate it. I can see that. Secondary deadhead. I like that. That's for secondary stuff. Is it? Yeah, that's for headshots. Precision headshots. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I feel like, especially with I actually did really good with that, and I'm really impressed by myself. I'm going to leave squad, though. I don't want to do any more with that. I don't want to do any more Steel Path. I'm going to start doing the Steel Path, but that's going to be entirely on my own. Or I might do it on stream every so often. I'm going to hit friend up and just go do a nightmare real fast, because I need to finish my nightmares. I need to find one good nightmare that I want to knock out. We'll knock this out. Timed mode, low gravity. I can do that easily. Just so I'm on the same page, what do you mean by Radiant quests? Because I don't remember, if it's a Fallout 4 thing, I don't remember that too particularly well.
You are here on a capture mission. You must find, capture, and extract our target.
Oh, I missed it. Yeah, screw it. I don't need to fight anybody if I'm fast enough. Because, I am glad that my my setup is actually working, because I just redid all of my OBS.
Target is in the vicinity. Find them.
And it's working. Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Like, one of the things I really want to see die in video games is, like, the unnecessary, the difficult mode where the enemies are just bullet sponges. Will you stop running? I'm trying to kill you. Okay, he's captured. Although I will say the capture targets are the smartest characters ever. Like, they see you coming and they're like, fuck that shit, I'm running away from the Tenno. Because, like, I've talked about this before with, like, my friends. I don't know if I ever said it on stream. The Tenno are the boogeyman. Think about it. We show up. One of us shows up. And just takes out a whole base by ourselves. More of us are here, even scarier. We show up in a single ship, take out whole fleets by ourselves, like it's nothing. Where am I going? Okay, it finally looped around. I hate it when the map gets like this. Yeah. Those feel like, yeah, it feels like, in open world games, that feels like it's just space filler. It has no purpose in the game except for to, once again, like you said, grind. And then they decide, hey, they force it on you. You have to do 4 of these missions. Now, with like Far Cry, where they're like, you have to take over like the strongholds, I get that. I would definitely prefer you didn't have to take all of them, because then it's like, what's the point? Like, the only thing you're really choosing at that point is, I did not have that? I'm glad I have that. I guess I'll have to start doing more nightmares if there's still mods I don't have. I don't like not having mods. Alright, I'm going to put a Sedna on this character. I've been wanting to do it. No, not upgrade. Let's see if I can find a good one that'll look good on this character. This looks okay. I'll be changing the colors. No, the way it's floating over it and doesn't touch the shoulders, I don't like. I think all of them are like that to some degree. The dual swords on the back I like, but I've overdone that one. I'm going to do it this, and then I'm going to copy the main colors. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Strange. Ordis did not see the value of those photonic wavelengths until now.
There we go. That looks good. I like that. Yeah. So there's two things. Like, if they're gonna do that exposition, like Red Dead Redemption, I know they're going for the authentic realism. I get that. That's what they're trying to do. But there's a decent amount of games where, like, they throw realism out the window pretty damn quickly. So, like, you don't need to do that. If you're going to do that, have us teleport to the other side. Just go ahead and teleport us. Yeah, and if you're going to do the like in like Red Dead Redemption, they do a good job with it because it gives a vibe feel. You're right. Like you're usually actively talking to people, or the reason why you have to travel at all is because you don't have to go do the next mission. You can go do literally anything else. But like, there's like a few games where they're like, okay, talk to this person, and then they give you a timer to go talk to this person on the other side of the world, and that fucking sucks. I hate that. You're right. Cyberpunk did that really well. You're right. Like Cyberpunk did a lot of things wrong, especially narrative-wise. But the idea that once you get into a car and you're doing the auto drive thing where you can't control it, they're like, "Hey, here's a skip button that allows you to skip the whole ride." And then also just like the conversation too. You can skip through a lot of the conversation, have it on auto skip. You push it once and then it'll just go to like your statement. If you play the game through once or you're doing New Game Plus, you know what everybody's going to say, so there's just no point in you listening to it. I do like the way this character looks now with that. Anyway. I'm going to make a loadout for this one. Once again, I need to make loadouts. No! Alright, I'm just going to do this. Hang on. It already knew what I was going to say. I don't know how to feel about that. Why did it drop how I had it built before? Oh, I think I know why. Alright. Let me go ahead and set everything back to the gear method, what I had for gear. Oh wait, she's all about crit, so I would no. Actually, I know the perfect weapon. It's just another tenant weapon, the flux rifle. Fucking evil. Actually, no. I'm not going to use the flux rifle for her. I got a better choice. I'm going to use this. It's basically a suitcase grenade launcher. Or a rocket launcher. Not even... And I'm going to put the Vol-6 in her hands. Which is another fast shooting one. Yeah, high rate of fire, ammo efficiency. Because for her, you need obscene levels of speed. I got to finish leveling that. Alright. Alright. I don't think... I'm going to give last call for any topics y'all want me to hit up. Because y'all usually throw me some good topics right at the end. I'm probably going to take some of these questions and topics y'all give me here and make some coffee over gaming videos because I'm always hurting up for content over there. Which is doing rather well, surprisingly. Oh, fuck. I forgot I had that. My breakfast. / lunch. Mostly breakfast. Nope. Alright. I am going to try and start making these streams longer, especially if I've got a game in the background. The art streams will probably end up being short because it's once I finish a project I don't want to continue. Unless I do a follow-up stream that we immediately kick over to, which is like me playing games again. Because once again, the games are a backdrop. I love these conversations. I want to have these conversations. The game is just so... because I think better when I'm multitasking. That sounds weird. But if you've ever seen me do like my Dark Souls and Elden Ring, when I'm slightly distracted, I do so much better. I don't know why. Anyway. I'm dipping. Love y'all guys. Hope to see y'all actually tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. Actually I might stream tomorrow. I don't know. Like I'm wanting to get into treating this like a real job, which means I have a 9 to 5, so to speak. But we'll see. Anyway. Love you guys. Take care.